So this song has actually been requested on and off for the past couple of years, but it's never been relevant enough to cover. But luckily with this vibing cat meme, it's kind of gained new popularity again, so I was happy to finally get around to it. The first thing I wanted to do was find out exactly where this original video was filmed. There were a couple letters engraved on the back of the bench that I was able to punch into Google, and I was able to find the Floria Social Tesisleri. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. So it put me in the approximate area of where that was filmed, so I went onto Google Maps, where there aren't a lot of Google Street View cars around there, but I was able to find these benches, which were a dead ringer for them, so I knew I was in the right area. So I really clicked around on Google Street View for a good half hour, and while there weren't many streetcar images, people are able to upload their own panorama images from certain landmarks. And so I actually found a positioned image that looked very familiar, that I was able to recognize the flower bed on my left as well as the railings on my right. It was apparent that this image was taken looking the opposite direction that what I was looking for, but if I zoomed in, I looked to the pathway that was leading up to the railings and was able to actually find the exact bench that he sat on in the video. Unfortunately, because this image was from the wrong angle, it was of no use for me in the video. So, while it was a success in the matter of finding it, I had to go to plan B, which was creating a composite of the original video and basically masking out every image of a person or a bench, and ultimately this was probably the easier way to do it in the first place, but at least we had some fun along the way. The next thing I did was create a vector image of the backing for the bench, because there were no 3D models of this exact bench, obviously. So I created a mask of the bench as well as the armrest and put it into Blender and created a 3D render of the bench, including a little Otamatone engraving on the back in place of the name of the restaurant. So that way I was able to place Mr. Naki on the bench in After Effects. Now this is an effect I'm surprised I never thought of before, which was creating a bunch of mouths in Photoshop for Mr. Naki using a downward bevel, and then taking those shapes and plugging them into Duik Basil and After Effects and just creating a mouth animation so Mr. Naki sings. It was a fun little effect, and I'm just surprised I never thought of it before now, so you guys are seeing history in the making. So ultimately, this was a fun video to make. There were a lot of visual references I could put in, which is always fun. I barely got this video done on time for many, many reasons, but hopefully you guys enjoy it, and we are getting very, very close to Otamatone cover number 100.